for our viewers, however, this time coming out of the United States, where Republican Senator Lindsey Graham met Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem, warning that Hamas is not disarming but actively rearming in Gaza. Graham said his impression is that Hamas is consolidating power rather than giving it up. He also expressed concern about Hezbollah in Lebanon, noting that the group is trying to make more weapons. Netanyahu agreed with Graham, calling the situation unacceptable. Graham emphasized that his visit to Israel has a purpose: to make 2026 the year of peace and knocking out the bad guy. Those are words from Graham. The meetings come ahead of Netanyahu's upcoming trip to Florida, where he will meet US President Donald Trump to discuss the fragile ceasefires in Gaza and Lebanon. Professor Imbar, what is your point of view when it comes to the current state of what is going on inside the Gaza Strip? Of course, we get conflicting reports pretty consistently that violence, internal violence, is pretty rife at the moment, infighting between Hamas and other gangs inside the Gaza Strip amongst the rubble. Lindsey Graham there saying that Hamas is rearming, of course, striking some fear into of course, Israelis. Those can't be very nice words to hear. What are your thoughts?
I think that Senator Graham is very correct in his assessment, which corresponds to the Israeli assessment as well. Hamas has no intention to disarm. The Americans relied on Turkey and Qatar to convince Hamas to disarm, but I think they do not deliver. And Hamas continues to rule parts of Gaza by force, cruelly, executing people that they don't like. And unfortunately, only the IDF can disarm Hamas. I don't see any other candidates to do it successfully.
Professor Imbar, what do you say to critics who say that Israel doesn't provide acceptable evidence as it continues to strike both infrastructure in Lebanon and, of course, Gaza, both after which have ceasefires in place?
I'm not sure it would be smart on Israeli part to share intelligence with newsmen, with journalists. We have to convince Americans that our actions are legitimate, and as long as Americans do not raise their brows and are agreeing with us, I think we are okay. Hamas continues to try to oppose Israel, to exterminate Israel, and so is Hezbollah. Those organizations have no reason to live. They have to be obliterated.
Professor Ephraim Imbar, thank you very much for joining us and taking the time and speaking to us. Pleasure to have you on the programme. We now move over to the United Kingdom, and a man has been arrested on suspicion of murder following a stabbing